Yoshiro finally broke the silence, revealing to Mio the tragic circumstances of her mother's sacrifice and the sealing off her abilities. The story began years before Mio's birth, when Tsurugi Trading faced a catastrophic string of failed business negotiations. Left with a staggering mountain of debt and stripped of their primary income, the Usuba clan found themselves on the brink of absolute ruin. Amidst this desperate financial crisis, an unexpected lifeline appeared, a marriage proposal from the Saimori family. Somehow aware of the Usuba's crippling debts, the Saimoris offered a massive dowry to clear the financial slate, on the sole condition that Sumi Usuba become their bride. Yoshiro repeatedly rejected their offer, yet each refusal was met with an even more persistent proposal. Recognizing that her family was trapped, Sumi took matters into her own hands. She bypassed her father, approached the Saimoris directly, and set an engagement date. Yoshiro had been furious. As the bearer of the precious Usuba bloodline, Sumi was compromising their lineage by marrying outward. But Sumi defended her decision by saying the way things were, the Usuba clan would cease to exist. When a frustrated Yoshiro pointed out her failing health, demanding what an ailing woman could possibly achieve, Sumi simply apologized to her father, weeping for a fate she had never wanted. She married into the Saimori family, and from that day forward, all communication was severed. The Usubas lost her to the shadows. Pausing his narrative, Yoshiro led Mio into the courtyard to show her the truth. At his instruction, Mio placed her hand against the weathered bark of the ancient cherry blossom tree. Upon contact, a brilliant white light erupted from the tree, pulling Mio into a vivid vision of the past. She witnessed the aftermath of her mother's wedding. The Saimori patriarch secretly admitted to his son, Shinichi, that the union was no mere political alliance. He knew of the Usuba bloodline and intended to harvest its power. Soon after, Sumi gave birth to a baby girl. Though Shinichi cradled the infant with genuine joy, Sumi's touch revealed a terrifying truth. The child possessed the dream sight. As Sumi's health deteriorated, she overheard a chilling conversation between Shinichi and his father. They were eager to test baby Mio for supernatural abilities. If she lacked them, they planned to quickly breed another heir before Sumi succumbed to her illness. Coughing blood and realizing her time was short, a desperate Sumi wept over baby Mio. She knew that the signs of the dream sight would soon manifest, and the ruthless Saimoris would exploit the child. To protect her daughter from being used as a weapon, even if it meant Mio would endure a childhood of neglect, loneliness, and self-doubt, Sumi chose to bind the power. Channeling the last of her life force, she touched Mio's forehead and the cherry blossom tree, sealing the ability away. As the vision faded, Mio collapsed to her knees, overwhelmed by the depth of her mother's love. Yoshiro gently urged her to rest. Meanwhile, the battle against the grotesqueries raged on. Kyoka, alongside Yoshito and Godo, fought tenaciously against the relentless waves of monsters. Taking the lead with lethal precision, Kyoka orchestrated a swift eradication of the remaining creatures. The next morning, Mio awoke from her first nightmare-free sleep in months. Arata visited her, noting her rested appearance, and presented her with a traditional garment passed down through the Usuba clan, an attire reserved exclusively for those gifted with the dream sight. Over the following days, Mio's physical health improved, but her emotional turmoil deepened. Separation only fueled her longing for Kyoka, her heart aching for him more with each passing day. At breakfast, she requested the return of her cherry blossom kimono, but Arata firmly refused. When Mio begged to speak with Kyoka to apologize for the trouble she had caused, Arata cut her off. He confessed that he could not let her leave, revealing that he had waited a lifetime for her. Arata explained the strict laws of the Usuba. Members were forbidden from taking lovers or making close allegiances outside the clan. The day the Dream Maiden prophecy was foretold, every Usuba was assigned a destiny. Arata's sole purpose in life was to protect Mio and step into the role of her husband. He implored her to let him fulfill his duty, overjoyed to finally have a purpose. On the battlefield, the respite was short-lived. Just as Godo and Yoshito began to celebrate their victory, a sizzling, scorched branch plummeted from above. A massive, hyper-fast grotesque ambushed them. Reacting on instinct, Kyoka shoved Godo out of the line of fire, taking the brunt of the creature's devastating assault alone. The blast left Kyoka severely wounded. Back at the estate, Yoshiro checked on Mio, asking if she was unhappy. Mio insisted she was fine, but gently pressed him to let her see Kyoka. When Yoshiro refused, Mio's stubborn persistence mirrored her mother's so closely that Yoshiro's resolve crumbled. With a heavy heart, he admitted his deepest regret. Pushing Sumi away had ruined her life, and he would not repeat the mistake with Mio. He apologized and urged her to lean on them as family. Mio, internalizing years of trauma, confessed her inner turmoil. She did not understand the concept of family. She felt only guilt, believing she brought misery to everyone, including Kyoka. Yoshiro gently corrected her. To be a family, he explained, meant sharing burdens. It meant having the right to anger or disappoint one another without fear of breaking the bond. Yoshiro tells Mio that he loves and cherishes her as much as he did Sumi. Moved by his words, Mio returned to the cherry blossom tree. Re-entering the memory of the seal, she heard her mother's final message. The power would return when Mio chose to claim it. Consuming the energy stored within the tree, Mio felt the warmth of Sumi's enduring love. As she wept, Yoshiro noted that a crucial part of the seal had finally shattered. The poignant moment was broken when Arata rushed in with devastating news. Kyoka had been struck down by the grotesqueries and remained comatose. Spurred by panic, Mio bolted for the exit. Arata blocked her path, but Mio pushed past him with newfound defiance, declaring that he could try to stop her, but she was going to Kyoka regardless. Desperate, Arata revealed the ultimate stakes. The Emperor had granted the Usuba clan security on the strict condition that Mio never associate with an outside gifted user. Disobedience would bring the wrath of the Empire down upon the entire clan. Mio froze in shock, yet seeing her unwavering resolve, Arata's own defenses collapsed. Recognizing that her devotion to Kyoka mirrored his own sense of duty, he agreed to accompany her. With Yoshiro's blessing, Mio was reunited with her cherished cherry blossom kimono. Racing to the Kudo estate, she found Kyoka alive, but trapped in a deep, supernatural slumber. Standing over him, Arata looked at her and gave her the ultimate challenge. It was time to use her awakened dream sight to bring him back. Kyoka wandered through a dense, suffocating forest, his mind clouded with confusion. The last thing he remembered was a brutal clash with the grotesqueries. Now, surrounded by an eerie silence, he looked at the phantom monsters lurking in the shadows and wondered if he had crossed the threshold of death. Refusing to yield, he charges his sword with fire. In reality, Kyoko is still unconscious. Arata prepares Mio by instructing her on how to find Kyoko's soul. He tells her to focus properly so she can enter Kyoko's soul. Hazuki tells Mio that everyone in the room believes in her, and Mio reassures them that no matter what she encounters, she will return with Kyoko. As she initiated the ritual, the world dissolved. Mio was pulled into a surreal, kaleidoscopic wormhole. Terrified but determined, she cried out Kyoko's name. When her feet finally touched solid ground, she was stunned to find herself standing in the courtyard of her childhood prison, the Saimori estate. Meanwhile, trapped within his own subconscious, Kyoka cut down wave after wave of grotesqueries. Yet, with every beast he slew, another two emerged in its place. There was no sign of Godo or his unit. Realizing this distorted realm was an illusion, he gritted his teeth, refusing to die in the dark. Suddenly, Mio's voice echoed through the trees. Stunned, he called out to her, but his voice was swallowed by the void. Inside the phantom Saimori house, Mio searched the cold, familiar corridors for Kyoka, met only by mocking, disembodied giggles. A small child dashed past her. Following the girl through a labyrinth of doors, Mio stepped into a final, desolate room submerged in water. A heavy door materialized before her, a stark symbol of the abuse and trauma of her upbringing. Gathering her courage, she pushed through. On the other side, she found herself stripped of her dignity, dressed once more in her old, tattered kimono. Standing before her was her own alter ego, a manifestation of her past self, broken by years of neglect. The other Mio tells her about the hardships she faced after her mother died, and how she hurt everyone around her. She does not deserve Kyoko, and she should give up, as that's all she always does. She talks about being alone, and that being the only way she knew to survive. But Mio responds by saying she wouldn't give up, as she had changed and realized that now she had people who cared about her. She was not going to give up this time. The alter ego grew desperate, pleading with her to stop before she gained more emotional scars. But Mio tells her that she needs to apologize to Kyoko, as he has always believed in her and was always there for her. She stepped closer and, with a lot of passion, tells her that she wants to spend the rest of her life with Kyoko. At that declaration, her latent Usuba powers erupted. The tattered rags dissolved, replaced by a majestic, queen-like cherry blossom kimono as a flurry of glowing petals swirled around her. Mio enveloped her weeping past self in a warm, healing embrace and told her she needs to find Kyoko so they both can find happiness together. The illusion vanished, leaving only Kyoko's lost hair tie resting in Mio's palm. Kyoko was collapsing from sheer exhaustion, his spiritual body battered and bleeding from the grotesqueries' relentless assaults. He berated himself. He was supposed to protect Mio, yet here she was, risking herself to find him. He desperately needed to survive, if only to apologize to her. Just as a lethal blow descended, Mio's voice shattered the darkness, accompanied by a blinding flash of white light. She materialized before him and asked Kyoko to stay behind her. With a wave of her hand, she deployed a massive, luminous blue barrier, effortlessly repelling the monsters. Kyoko watched in absolute awe, dumbfounded by the sheer magnitude of her awakened dream sight. Turning to him, Mio apologized for the delay, her eyes welling with tears at the sight of his wounds. Kyoko asks her not to worry, as this wouldn't be the end of him. Deep within a hidden sanctuary, the Emperor watched the battle through his chanting mystics and asked his servants if Kyoko is dead, but they inform him that a Usuba woman is interfering. Furious that the Kudo clan's power would be magnified by the ultimate Usuba gift, the Emperor pushed past his advisor's warnings. Taking matters into his own hands, he recalled the lesser monsters and channeled his own life force to conjure a colossal, roaring mass of dark energy. Faced with the apocalyptic curse, Mio extended her hand to Kyoko and asks if he believes her. Locking his fingers with hers, Kyoko replied without hesitation, he does. The Emperor unleashed the dark mass, but Mio countered by channeling the absolute purity of the dream sight into a brilliant, blinding wave of white energy. The curse was violently reflected back at its caster. The magical backlash exploded through the Emperor's sanctuary, shattering his mirrors and stripping him of his power. The darkness fractured, leaving Mio and Kyoko in a serene, starlit realm. Kyoko tells Mio that he spent so much time promising to protect her, yet in the end, she protected him. Mio gently held up his braided hair tie and asked him if she could put it on if he didn't mind, and he didn't mind it at all. As she tied his hair, the barriers between them completely vanished. Mio apologized for her deception at the Usuba estate, confessing that her only true desire was to remain by his side. Kyoko, in turn, apologized for his past harsh words, born of anger. They embraced tightly, a quiet vow passing between them to never face the world apart again. With a final flash of light, Mio guided Kyoko's soul back to the waking world. Kyoko opened his eyes to the immense relief of the room. He softly apologized to Mio for worrying her, but the tender moment was hilariously cut short when Godo lunged across the bed, unceremoniously tackling his commander in a tearful, relieved hug. Amidst the joy, Mio noticed Arata quietly slipping out of the room. She followed him into the corridor. Arata paused, looking back with a bittersweet smile, and told her that she doesn't need his protection anymore. Mio thanks him but apologizes for not returning to Usuba's house as it wasn't her home. Arata tells Mio that she is always going to be family. Kyoko tells Arata that they will have a rematch and he will win the next one. Arata asks him to find him when he is ready for the match and takes leave. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, Prince Takahito informed his advisor, Ukaito, that the Emperor had completely lost his divine foresight. The prince vowed that the corruption of the old regime would be exposed, and all debts would be repaid. Days turned into weeks, and Mio and Kyoko returned to the peaceful sanctuary of their estate. The agonizing nightmares that had plagued Mio vanished entirely, replaced by a quiet, ordinary happiness. Soon, the day of the grand celebration arrived, serving also as Mio's final etiquette debut under Hazuki's tutelage. Dressed in their finest formal attire, Kyoko and Mio stood together, exchanging breathless compliments. Looking toward their future, they locked hands, sealing a quiet, beautiful promise to soon become husband and wife. For the next episode, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.